Hi guys, this video is going to be on rejection. Have you experienced relationships time and time again where you feel like an aspect of yourself is being rejected? Either you feel like you're not enough or too much of something, or you never quite receive that love and value from the other person. This doesn't matter if it's romantic or platonic, it's just about the core aspect of feeling like you're not good enough, too much, and you're not receiving what you actually really need. Or are you always putting yourself in positions where you are trying to prove yourself to others? One way that this could show up is constantly getting more education, not because that is actually what you truly want for yourself, that's your dream, but because you want the credentials to prove your worth to others. The same thing could happen with high achievers at work. They're constantly pushing themselves up the ladder, but it's not from a place of being lit up or passionate about it. It's more from a place of trying to prove yourself. Because, if you become a CEO at this company, you're going to be perceived as valuable from your close family members or friends. If any of this resonates with you, this is a video for you. At the root cause of attracting rejection or feeling like you have to prove yourself all the time is a wound that typically stems from childhood. It would be under the age of 12 years old, but most likely in the elementary school years. It would involve a primary caretaker or somebody that had a lot of significance and you spent time with during your younger years. And it has to do with them rejecting a piece of your true authentic self. Since childhood, you learn this maladaptive pattern to wear a mask to protect this wound by constantly trying to do things to prove yourself, to prove your worth to other people. You constantly put effort into other people or situations to come from a place of proving yourself because you perceived as not worthy as a child. Does that make sense? But even at a deeper level of this wound, in essence, what you are really doing is rejecting that self-love from yourself. You rejected an aspect of your true authentic self because of an influence when you're a child, and since then you haven't been able to let that unconditional love for yourself pour into yourself. You know how we get a wound on our body? And how if we don't tend to that wound, it's gonna get infected, it's gonna get pussy, and it's gonna feel uncomfortable. Well, the same thing is true with our inner selves. When we have wounds that happen or beliefs that no longer resonate with us, that wound is going to fester in our lives. It's going to be mirrored outwards in our reality, giving us plenty of opportunity to heal that wound within ourselves. Until you take the time to remove the pus from the wound, clean it up, disinfect it, and let it heal, it's going to keep presenting itself, which is why it's so important to look at these things within yourself so that you can start experiencing a different outward reality. This rejection wound started when you were a child, and the smart, clever little child that you were decided that you were going to put a mask on of constantly proving yourself to others, whether it's in love or whether it's in your career or whatnot, so that you could have a sense of feeling worthiness. And this was a protective measure, and it worked for a long time until now, because you're strong enough to heal this wound within yourself now. How do we start to heal this wound? Well, Imagine what it would feel like to feel worthy of your unconditional love. What things would you start to do for yourself to pour that love within yourself? Who would you become? What would that look like? What would that feel like in your body? And then also, what does it feel like to be with people or in places or situations that make you feel like you're not good enough, you're not worthy, or you're not valuable? And what would that person look like? What kind of people would they accept in their life? What kind of situations would they accept in their life? And how does that feel within your body? And noticing that gap between what it feels like to allow that self-love into your life versus what it feels like right now of having to constantly prove yourself and feeling like an aspect of who you truly are is being rejected is an eye-opener. I trust you found value out of today's video. I'm sending you so much love. Like, share, and subscribe. It lets me know that you value the content that I'm putting out there, but it also gives other people an opportunity for this YouTube video to show up on their YouTube feed so that they too can work on their rejection wounds and find a healthier version of themselves. Love you.